you for joining us this evening. I'm Ansley Helton.
And I'm John Sloss. Welcome to MT10 News at 6:30.
This weekend marks 3 years since Holly Bobo went missing. About a month ago, the TBI charged Zachary Adams with first-degree murder in the case.
Adams was scheduled to have a status hearing today in Decatur County. MT10 reporter Chris Davis was in the courtroom this morning and has the details.
Chris Davis coming to you from the Decatur County Courthouse, where earlier this morning a status hearing was held in the Holly Bobo murder case. Zachary Adams, the accused in this case, was not in court. The judge did waive his right to appear and actually mentioned to the court that he regretted that decision. He wished that Zach was present due to the fact that they did have a lot of questions for him on when he would appoint an attorney. Which brings us to the next problem in the status hearing, is that they cannot move forward with the status hearing until Zachary has his attorney in place. He has not done so. He has not officially retained his attorney, so they could not have the full status hearing today. With that announcement, a lot of friends, family, and supporters of Holly Bobo and the family were very disappointed today. They packed the courtroom house, and afterwards they talked to us about how disappointed they were that they were not able to move forward with this trial. It's been such a long process for this community, and they really have the hope that something will happen very soon with this case. Reporting from Decatur County at the courthouse, Chris Davis, MT10 News.
Thank you, Chris. Now, one of the purposes of the status hearing this morning was to keep the case moving forward. MT10 reporter Brock Howard brings us the reaction of those close to the Bobo family after little progress was made.
A crowded Decatur County courtroom left disheartened today after no real progress was made in the Holly Bobo case.
Disappointed. Disappointed. We need to get the case moving forward before it loses the speed that is needed.
We're frustrated, but I'm ready to get it started and get it over with.
You know, it seems like that everybody was unprepared, and you know, he hasn't retained the attorney, and you know, it was kind of a letdown, really.
Pastor Don Frank spoke on behalf of the family.
Families somewhat disappointed. They wanted everything to proceed. They wanted it to be fair, but at the same time, they wanted it to be as quickly as possible.
Throughout the entire process, the area community has stood by the Bobo family.
We'll be right here. We'll be right behind them the whole time. We'll see it through to the end.
I know the family appreciates everything that has been done over the past 3 years, and everything continues to be done on their behalf.
Despite the tragedy that has unfolded in this tight-knit community,
You know, in a small town, even though you might not be blood related, you're all family, you know.
they are united behind one cause.
I just pray that justice is served.
Reporting from Decatur County, I'm Brock Howard.
Now, Adams is set to appear back in court on April 30th. For Chris Davis's full report, follow MT10 News on Facebook.
A Nashville fugitive wanted for murder has been arrested in California. Terrence Brown is wanted in Nashville for the 2012 murder of Dennis Prutanov. He was arrested at Blue Lake Casino after police were called for suspected drug possession. Brown had given police a fake ID, but a fingerprint scan identified him. He was booked into the Humboldt County Jail and is waiting to be moved to Tennessee.
After 21 years, a family may finally find justice. In 1993, Anna Zakeli was found murdered in her East Nashville home, and on Monday, police charged her son-in-law with first-degree murder. John Hernandez was also imprisoned in San Antonio on human trafficking charges. With the cooperation of Texas police, they used DNA tests to determine that Hernandez was their prime suspect in Zakeli's murder. A trial date has not yet been set.
A Texas woman has been arrested by Murfreesboro police after her former sister-in-law turned her in. When Murfreesboro police responded to a domestic disturbance call, the ex-sister-in-law told them Shalyn Mitchell is wanted in Texas. After officials ran a warrant check and confirmed it with Fort Worth authorities, Mitchell was taken into custody. She also had 2 children who traveled with her, and they were placed with friends. Mitchell will be extradited to Texas.
A man who purchased drugs in front of a local elementary school is facing life imprisonment. In June 2012, Christopher Ray Leggs was discovering buying drugs in front of Robert E. Lillard Elementary Design Center. And when police followed him home, they found he had bags of cocaine and a stolen gun. Leggs pleaded guilty Tuesday afternoon to possession with intent to distribute and to other gun charges. He faces a possible fine of $250,000 and a sentence to life in prison. His sentence is scheduled for May 16th.
Middle Tennessee State University's new science building construction is gaining a lot of attention. The new science building is still under construction, but is coming together quickly. Construction workers are hard at work trying to get the building ready for students and faculty. The work on the new building has been causing detours around campus, so completion of the building is much anticipated. The structure of the building is very modern and a much needed update from the current science buildings on campus.
It's actually quite beautiful. I mean, the glass, the modern design of it, it doesn't really fit with a lot of the other buildings around campus. It lacks the brick.
The building is getting students around campus excited. The building is set to open in spring 2015. MTSU students will no longer have unlimited printing.
Starting fall of 2014, a new policy will limit students to printing 225 pages a semester. Now, after that, students will be charged a fee per page they print. MT10 reporter Antonio Sloan joins us now with the very latest. Antonio?
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the James E. Walker Library, a primary place that will affect students with the new regulation of only being allowed to print 225 pages per semester. And students are very unhappy about the change.
I don't think they should do that, only because students come to the library to do their work, and why should we have a limit on what can we print?
As students are currently required to use their pipeline login information to access computers, this same login will be used to keep count of how many pages students have printed. Once over the 225-page limit, students are required to pay a fee per page printed.
What if I have an important assignment due? I can't do anything with it if I already surpassed my 260 pages. I just think it's a bad idea.
Sources tell me that MTSU is not the only university implementing this new policy, as many schools has decided to make a stop to the misuse of unlimited printing resources. For MT10 News, I'm Antonio Sloan. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Antonio. Now, there will be certain areas where students won't be charged for printing, but those areas will have strict rules for academic-related printing only.
MTSU held its own debate yesterday between students running for office in our Student Government Association. Last night, the parliamentary room in the Student Union building was empty until 6 p.m. when students gathered to listen to student government candidates debate. Students were running for multiple positions on the executive board. All of the candidates were asked a series of questions such as why they were running and what they could potentially contribute to SGA if voted in. However, the part of the night that had everyone on their toes was when the candidates for student body president took the spotlight. The candidates each agreed that MTSU's new president, whoever it may be, needs to be a voice for the students and a strong leader.
MTSU needs a president that can interact on a level with Dr. McPhee and faculty as well as with the students.
MTSU students can begin voting on MyMT on April 14th and polls will close on the 17th.
Greek Week kicked off earlier this week. Fraternity and sorority life began the week with something close to all of their hearts, philanthropy. They gathered in the Student Union Ballroom Monday for a letter-writing party. Now, music was played and prizes were given away during the event. The letters are being mailed to support Habitat for Humanity, and each student mailed at least 5 letters. Almost 300,000 letters were written, and the goal for donations is $10,000. The Greek community is trying to raise enough money to build a house during Greek Week of 2015.
A military veteran joins the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, but he is not your average veteran. Deputy Cowboy is a canine companion donated by the Marine Corps through a program to the Sheriff's Office. Cowboy served 2 tours in Afghanistan and can sniff out 12 different types of bombs. He was given to the Sheriff's Office due to the recent numerous bomb threats at Campbell County schools as well as small businesses. Deputies say that having Cowboy will make searches more efficient, accurate, and faster. Still ahead on MT10 News, multiple students are recovering tonight after a mass stabbing in Pennsylvania.
And we have the latest coverage on the Oscar Pistorius trial. Stay tuned, that's coming up next on MT10 News. 20 students were injured early this morning in a mass stabbing at a Pittsburgh area high school. The incident happened at Franklin Regional Senior High School in the science wing inside classrooms and in a hallway. Victims were taken to several area hospitals and are being treated for a wide range of injuries. A sophomore at the high school was taken into custody shortly after the incident. Now, the motive of the mass stabbing is not known and the investigation is still ongoing. A few weeks back, MT10 brought you the latest on the Oscar Pistorius trial. Tonight, we update you on the first day of Pistorius' testimony. With Reva's emotional mother, father, and sister present, Pistorius tearfully explained to the court how the shooting took place. The double amputee claims he felt especially vulnerable since he was not wearing his prosthetic legs at the time. Presiding Judge Masipa was forced to end the trial for the day as Pistorius was overcome with emotion.
Before I knew it, I'd fired 4 shots at the door. My ears were ringing, I couldn't hear anything. So I kept on shouting for Reva to phone the police.
The trial resumed today with Pistorius' testimony being cross-examined by the prosecution.
A home invasion has taken a turn for the worst. Officials say homeowners were awakened Monday morning by an intruder attempting to break into their home. The owners found the man on the back porch. The family took precautions and fired a warning shot. According to local police, the shot was ignored by the intruder, forcing the homeowners to continue firing, killing the intruder. All 3 family members were unharmed.
You could tell they were very rattled, very shaken. I think they were very thankful that they survived this encounter.
Investigators are working towards identifying the body.
In other national news, a father and son have been missing since last Wednesday while on a hiking trip in Colorado. According to authorities, Damian McManus and his son Evan were expected to return home on Sunday. The family of the 2 men reported them missing when they did not return. The men had been driving to Colorado from Minnesota to camp and hike the Echo Lake area. Now, rescue teams have been on the search for the men, looking for any leads as to where the father and son may be.
So right now we're searching for clues, checking some of the trails, seeing if we can see any sign of those 2 guys going one direction or the other.
The snowfall has made rescue efforts more difficult by covering any tracks that may have been left on the trails.
A toddler swept away by flood waters in Louisiana was found on Tuesday morning. The 3-year-old was fishing with his mother on concrete structure when he fell into the water Monday. The current carried him down the creek and into an open drain. His hat was found on the opposite side of the creek, but there was no sign of the boy. Officials say that searching through the swift water is very dangerous for the dive teams looking for the toddler. Rescue teams had to continue their search Tuesday morning. They later found the body alive underneath the roadway. Tennesseans may soon be able to carry shotguns in public. State Representative Wick Womack has submitted a bill that will allow residents of Tennessee to openly carry their guns without a permit. He also wants residents to be able to keep those guns loaded at all times, but he would keep restrictions on concealed and hunting weapons. If the bill passes, Tennesseans could start carrying guns in the open as early as September 1st of this year.
And the good old national motto may be on display at the state capitol in the future. Representative Mike Sparks of Smyrna has introduced a bill in the House to allow "In God We Trust" to be placed somewhere at the state capitol. A similar Senate bill was passed on Monday and was supported by Rutherford County Representative Bill Catron of Murfreesboro. The "In God We Trust" bill does not come without opposition. Some members of Congress say that there are more pressing issues to worry about. Now, if it passes in the House, the bill would go on to Governor Haslam for consideration. MTSU is hosting the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event tonight, encouraging students to work together to fight violence against women.
MT10 reporter Cecilia Harrell joins us now with the latest from the event. Cecilia, what can you tell us?
I'm here at the MTSU Campus Recreation Center where a Walk a Mile in Her Shoes is going on. Fraternity and Sorority Life has put together this event to raise awareness for domestic violence, sexual assault, rape, and gender violence. Fraternity men are here to walk a mile in their shoes, literally in heels.
Thank you, Cecilia. Walk a Mile in Her Shoes was founded in 2001 and has since grown into an event tens of thousands of people participate in every year. Still to come on MT10 News, the UConn women have made basketball history.
And the All Hoops team is getting a few of Murfreesboro's best. Brooke Grimsley has that just ahead in sports.
The skies were in clear view today, but will this weather remain the same through your upcoming weekend? I'll have your forecast and more right here on MT10 News.
Ansley, it felt amazing outside, but I think it might cool off a little bit later. I hope it doesn't go anywhere.
I know, it's been absolutely beautiful. Philip, can you tell us a little bit about what the rest of this week is going to look like?
Absolutely, Ansley. It was fantastic today. You know, the skies were in clear view today. Even across MTSU's campus, the students were outside enjoying the weather. It was absolutely fantastic. I don't think anyone was complaining, and no one's complaining about the temperatures right now. 70 degrees is what we're looking at right now across the state. Fair skies, a nice little short breeze going on, so nothing really too bad. It's really looking pretty pleasant outside. Across the state, it's looking the same as well. 68 degrees in Nashville, 64 for Clarksville, 66 in Jackson, and on the east side of the state, 63 for Smithville, 60 in Crossville, and 64 for Knoxville. So it's really looking very pleasant out today. Tonight's low, it's going to be a little bit cooler than we expected, but that's not going to change our attitudes from what we saw earlier today. 39 degrees is what we're looking at for a low tonight. Mostly clear skies, nothing bad for us going on there. And tonight, the temperatures are going to remain around the same. 40 down in Manchester, 39 up in Salina, 39 for Crossville, 41 in Knoxville, and 43 in Chattanooga. And on the west side, 43 in Waverly and 44 in Jackson. So it's really looking like the spring weather is definitely here, and it's here to stay. So tomorrow's high, 74 degrees is where we're going to be looking at today. Sunny skies. There may be a nice little gust going along, so just hold on to your hats a little bit and you should be good to go. 74 in Columbia, 74 in Clarksville tomorrow, 74 up in Portland, and 70 in Crossville, and 73 in Chattanooga. So it is definitely looking very nice, and no one can be complaining about these temperatures. So for your 5-day forecast, that's what we're looking at for the rest of the week. 74 for Thursday, 75 on Friday, 77 on Saturday, and look at that, 80 degrees on Sunday. That's right, we're hitting 80-degree temperatures, and 65 degrees to start your Monday. A little bit cooler, but it is going to look like a very, very nice weekend. And that's your forecast for MT10 News. I'm going to throw it back over to John and Ansley.
Thanks, Philip. A Nashville man is facing 30 years in prison for writing a bad check. David Billington wrote checks to himself for $1.2 million, drawing out of his boss's bank account. He deposited the checks over a year-long period, and the strange deposits led the IRS to notice he was also submitting false tax returns. Billington pled guilty to bank fraud and filing false tax returns on Monday and will be sentenced on June 27th. Still to come on MT10 News, a local high school star is trading orange and navy for orange and white. You get a chance to watch the basketball game?
I did, and I'm so excited about UConn. Brooke Grimsley joins us now with a look at MT10 Sports.
With the UConn men winning the national title last Monday, last night was the women's turn to do the same. The Huskies dominated Notre Dame 79-58 in a matchup that for the first time put two undefeated teams against each other. Brianna Stewart, who won the Associated Press Player of the Year award, scored 21 points in the game. Gianna Remy broke a tie with Pat Summitt in her own backyard with this 9th national title. Four-star Blackman quarterback Juwan Jennings is headed to the Big Orange. On Monday, Jennings was verbally committed to Tennessee over Alabama, Auburn, Northwestern, and Ohio State. Jennings is ranked the 4th best player in the state and number 156 in the nation. Now the question remains, what position will the Blackman standout play, as Jennings is listed as an athlete by 24/7 Sports. Multiple players from the Murfreesboro area have been named to the TSWA All-State Team Hoops team. 11 local players were named this week's All-State by the Tennessee Sports Writers Association. 7 girls and 4 boys from local schools such as MTCS, Riverdale, and the state champs Blackman were all named. Some of the notable players were Crystal Dangerfield, Derek Spears, and McDonald's All-American Alexa Middleton. The Nashville Predators fall short in a shootout against the Dallas Stars. The game was neck and neck as the Predators led 1-0 in the shootout, but Dallas's Vernon Fiddler scored to tie at 1-1. Dallas Stars number 91 Tyler Seguin had the game winner against the Nashville Predators, knocking their chances for the playoffs, leaving the score at 3-2. The Stars took the 8th and a final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Baseball legend hammering Hank Aaron returned to the diamond for the Braves home opener yesterday. Before the Braves took on the New York Mets at Turner Field, Aaron was honored with a ceremony commemorating his legendary Braves career. Aaron thanked his wife and fans for his successful career.
And for all that you fans have ever did for me in this city, thank you so very much. Thank you.
The 80-year-old received a standing ovation from the fans who were there to celebrate the anniversary of his 715th home run. MTSU baseball starts off the week with a huge win, shutting out Belmont 4-0. The win marks the first shutout of 2014 for the Blue Raiders. Senior standouts Cooper Kessler, Jonathan Sisko, and Cody Tollison teamed up to hold the Bruins to 7 hits in the contest. Our MT Sports Fan Tweet of the Week, Tyler Bassler, was there for the game and tweeted, "Great win tonight for MT Baseball. Home series this weekend with Miss Valley State for Alumni Weekend." The Blue Raiders started playing against Tennessee Tech at 6 p.m. and will play a home series against Mississippi Valley this weekend. John and Ansley, the weather looks perfect for baseball this weekend. I better see you out in the stands.
Hey, we'll see you there, Brooke. Thanks. This Friday, visitors at the Frisch Center can get a free view of Japan. In honor of Nashville's 6th annual Cherry Blossom Festival, Nissan is sponsoring a whole day of free art and activities at the Frisch Center for the Visual Arts. The center opens at 10 a.m. and closes at 5:30 p.m. The exhibit is called Looking East at the Allure of Japan and will feature 171 works on loan from the Museum of Fine Arts. Thank you for joining us for MT10 News. I'm John Sloss.
And I'm Ansley Helton. We hope you can join us again tomorrow evening for MT10 News.
Meanwhile, have a true blue day.